Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is December 19th, and this is the second week of planning out my week, the second Sunday of planning out my week. Munif is going to be in here in a moment. You guys can watch us on stream on Facebook and Twitch, and it'll be up on YouTube later. But the whole purpose of this is because I have ADHD and I like to procrastinate. And if I do not make myself do something live and sit down and actually do it and hold myself accountable, I'll just push it off until the next day. So I actually have a Google sheet that I found just on the Google template that I'm going to share and just really get into planning my week, because I realize if I fail to plan, I plan to fail. So for me to be successful, I need to be planning out my week, and I like to do it on a Sunday when I don't have a lot going on. Just got out of an amazing Zoom about the Go Giver book and how to be a better giver and receiver. And this is something that I see a lot of people struggling with, is planning out their week and how to manage their time well. And I know that's something that I struggle with as well. So good morning, everybody. I'm glad you're in here. Let's get started. So what I'm going to do is actually pull up this Google sheet. If you guys do not have Google or Gmail, that's literally all I'm using to keep everything kind of organized. So I'm going to share my screen. Like I said, Munif will be on here in a moment, but I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see what I'm using, and then you guys can have it as well. All right, so this is all I have right here. It's literally, I just opened up over here on the right. I went down to sheets, and then I searched. There you go, schedule calendars right here. You can just do templates, and it was this one right here. So now you guys know how to find it if you ever get into your. Is it actually? Hang on, let me see. Did it share that screen? I don't think it shared that screen. Let me share this new tab for you guys. I'm gonna restart. So I'm gonna share a new screen so you guys can see it. So you guys will have access to this as well. Chrome tab. I'm just gonna share the entire window really quickly. It's gonna get kind of funky. Here we go. You guys ready for Inception? Here it is. Okay, so now you guys see everything I see. So if you go over to your, I have a Gmail account. Come over to Sheets and just click on Template Gallery up here at the top. And it was this one right here, Schedule. That's all I clicked on it. And what I did was I just changed the dates. So I'm going to stop sharing that. Come back over here. You guys can see I put December 20th and I changed all the dates. I'm going to stop this Inception really quickly so it's nice and clean. I like to be nice and easy when I do this. And here we go. Now you're just going to see this one page. Here we go. So is that helpful? Does that bring me value that you guys can see how I'm pulling this up to get started? You guys can change your times as well. I know most of you know that I get my day, my work day, started at 5 a.m. So it changes things up a little bit. But when I'm planning out my week, it doesn't help me if I go straight to what I'm going to do each day. I like to plan out the major things that have to happen. So to-do list. What do I want to get done this week? So there's specific things that I want to accomplish. And just so you guys know, this is the week of Christmas. So Saturday is Christmas. My little sister, one of my younger sisters, is coming over here. She's in the Navy. She's coming over from San Diego to spend Christmas with us. So Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be family days for me. So I'm just going to say sister time. And I'm going to plug that all the way through. Can you do that on here? I know you can on Excel. Will it follow? Yeah. So if you click on the bottom right, you can change that. I don't know what all exactly I'm doing here yet, but I'm excited to see what happens to my sister. So I know that for sure. And I might even just put Christmas on there. But my to-dos to get started. So I still have some last minute Christmas shopping that I need to do. And what's up, Munif? I didn't even see that you joined.
Hey, what's up, Carol?
Good morning.
Good morning. I was very into what you were doing.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, I literally just showed everybody. This is actually a free schedule that is available on Google Docs. So I showed everybody how to find that if you just open up a window. But I know last week we didn't share kind of more than just the journal pages I use. I'm just going to do a rough overview today, what I need to get started with and what I have to plan out. So I know that I still have some Christmas shopping to do for one of my sisters that's coming. So I need to go get
Christmas.
A gift.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I know. That's Saturday. If I didn't look at this, I would not know Christmas was Saturday, even though I knew that last week. I would completely forget. So I still have to get Katie a Christmas gift. And I need to one of the things that we just got out of that Zoom is I need to connect with you so we can get some more role plays going. So connect with Munif.
I'm just gonna buy everybody $50 of Bitcoin for Christmas.
That's not a bad gift to give.
No.
Some of the other ones, I really some of the other big things that I have to do, I want to make sure that I'm going to the Hawaii accountability group, so I need to make sure I have that on Monday. All right, and then some other major ones. I actually am going to be sending out thank you cards for the Christmas gifts I've already gotten, so I want to just get those written out. And then specifically for so those are like my personal things. I'm going to make this is going to be a long list, but I'm going to try and twice a week, I'm going to try and go live for about 30 to 45 minutes, and I'm going to comp properties for people. So go live, comping properties twice a week. And then I'm just going to continue making a few more. So I want to plan out where in the week I want to do that. And then the next one is I want to make sure that I'm hitting that I am hitting the yoga. I go to hot yoga, so I want to make sure that I attend 3 hot yogas. So I might even add more to this later on, but this is how I kind of get started, and I'll probably jog my memory of specific meetings I need to have. These are off the top of my head. How do you plan out your week, Munif? Do you write out like the big things that have to happen and then fill in the space for them? What do you do?
I'll tell you what I used to. I'm redoing how I do everything. Hey, good morning, Kyle.
What's up, Kyle?
I am redoing how I plan everything, because what I used to do is I used to have a little journal, which I'd put my to-do list in, just like what you're doing. And then this time Sunday, I would just figure out how to map it through my week. But I am redoing everything, because now I have Melissa to help me, and she is helping me take like my productivity to the next level. And so now we do things a little differently. Now she's tracking all the key items I have to do, and then I have time blocks preset in the week, and she'll fill them with stuff. So we can get into that a little bit later, but it's a little bit different. I've never done something like this before, so I'm not really sure if I'm on the right course, if I'm doing things right. But like last week was amazing. We got a lot done last week, so we'll see, and we'll share some of it this week. I think Melissa's here in the comments, I think. So we'll bring.
Oh, beautiful. We can actually. Where is she, Melissa? Comment really quick, and then we can invite her up here on the stage with us. So I have my specific things that I need to get done. Oh, and I have my notes on the left side there. Are there any big obstacles that you need to hurdle this week, Munif?
Yeah. I need to spend about 10 to 15 hours with Noah.
Who is Noah, and why does
Noah Hoffman? Okay, so who is Noah, and why am I spending time with? Okay, so Noah Hoffman is the Airbnb king of real estate. We have a goal, and one of our goals is to be able to set up an Airbnb in 5 days, right? Like 5 days of our time, like our resources, doing the setup. Obviously, if the Airbnb needs like some renovations, like we'll do that, and the time will get a little bit longer. Hey, good morning, Ralph. Hi. Hey, Ralph. I love Ralph. Ralph's amazing.
Dude, I connected with that's, you know what, that Ralph, you're gonna be proud of me. I need to put down my workouts. So I know that we've talked about this, but one of the things like why I did the 75 hard and why I want to plan things out is because I have lower back pain, and it's because when I go to the gym, I had just accepted in life. I don't know if anybody else is like this, but in life, I'd accepted that I will never have a 6-pack. I was just like, never going to have a 6-pack. It's not one of my goals. So when I'd go to the gym, I'd just work out my arms and my legs, and I'd never work out my core. And now my back muscles are overcompensating because I have a weak core. So Ralph has been like a great accountability partner, and he's given me workouts to make, like not even insane ones, but I do them every morning during the daily now. I'm actually going to edit that on my schedule so I can make sure that I do. It's just like 15 minutes of workouts, and there's just like planks and stuff, but I want to make sure I get that in there because that's important, and I forgot about it. But I know it in the top of my head.
Ralph he helped me configure hello, dog. Hi, what's the dog's name?
This is Ranger. This is my sister's dog. Come here, Ranger.
Hi, Ranger.
Little baby.
Oh, Ranger. Hello. Hi, Ranger. Oh my goodness.
Go ahead though. I'm sorry, I cut you
No,
off,
no,
but I
you're
saw
good.
that.
I would
I
be
didn't
doing
get
the
ADHD.
same thing. I would be doing the same thing if I were you. I'm very jealous. So what Ralph helped me with is create a supplement program for my health, right? And like it was like I spent like it wasn't much, but I think like $50. I bought all these supplements, and it's like herbs and like supplements and vitamin D. And I literally take them with breakfast. Like I haven't been taking my vitamin D at all. And Ralph's like, hey, that's really bad for your immune system. So like you're gonna get sick, right? If you don't have vitamin D. So I'm like, okay, I gotta be on vitamin D. I've been sick for like a month, guys. Like if you guys know,
Yeah.
yeah, and like I'm not coughing anymore, right? Like I've got this herb tea that Patty sent me. Ralph helped me with my supplements, and I'm like, okay, I need to really get my health in check. So even when I do get sick, I'm not out for so long. So super, super important. Yeah, Kyle, work life balance and just taking care of your body first before anything. So totally get that. No,
Well, hang on. I don't want to let you like bounce off of that because I think that's
yeah,
something you and I are really trying to focus on, and
yes,
how
yes,
important the work-life balance is and how important our health is. Like
yes,
literally, that's why I did the 75 hard, guys, because diabetes runs in my family, and your girl's got a sweet tooth, and I would have sugar every single hour if I could. And like also what I found out, because I'm like studying like or ADD people in general, we lack dopamine, so we crave sweet treats. So I'm constantly craving sweet treats so I can get that high. And I'm like, okay, that's not great for me. But guys, and we're one of our goals, Munif, is to get 7 hours of sleep like every night. And that is one of my like non-negotiables. Like I want to make sure that I'm sharp, and resetting the goal planning is like for me, I want to make sure that I achieve my goal so I can help more people. And I know that we've talked about this a ton. Like I want to help domestic abuse shelters and like victims, and I want to help community centers and things like that. And if I'm not on my A game, I cannot do that. And if I don't have that reminder every day, I can't do that. So I just wanted to like chime in there, guys. Take care of yourself. Munif is everywhere all the time, and you've been sick so long because you haven't
yeah.
let yourself like heal all the way.
I've
So I
not
really
been.
want to drive that
Mhm.
out. Yeah, yeah. Just
I
cut out
wasn't
sugar. I love that.
sleeping. I wasn't
Mhm.
resting my voice because people like my hammer. This is what Noah says because we're talking about like repair, like carpenters, and they have hammers. My hammer is my phone, right? And I have not been putting my hammer down, right? And when you've got bronchitis, when you've got um, lung inflammation, you got to rest your voice because it's all connected. It's like your diaphragm and you're talking. It's like people who have lung illnesses, like Tyra's here, she knows. Like you can't um, talk because talking will actually like it'll make it worse, right? You have to rest your voice, and I wasn't doing that. I was like on role plays. I was on all this stuff. I wasn't getting 7 hours of sleep. I was getting 4 hours, 3 hours of sleep a night. You can't do that, right? Like you can, but you're gonna pay for it one way or another. Your body's gonna pay for it. So it's really about sustainability. Um, I love what Kyle said. I've only been here for a month. I thought Munif's cough was a personality trait. Yes, I was when I was a kid growing up. I was very sickly and I would always cough, and we didn't know why, and because I had asthma and allergies. But one of my goals, and we're talking about goals, I got an allergy doctor appointment. I got my physical appointment. So I'm making all these health appointments to make sure that my body is where it needs to be, and making that a priority. And we set our priorities today when we plan our week.
I'm keeping myself muted. Sorry there. I am also dog sitting, and I'm just all of the dogs are all over me. So
That's great.
I have all these tails wagging. Okay, so let's talk about this. What are your goals for the week? Like, what are the main things that you have to hit? Because I know you have so many Twitch streams. Like,
Mhm.
last week we talked about kind of like our goals and things. Like, how do you plan this out? How do you get started? Because I think a lot of people struggle, and this is what I struggled with at first too when I would plan out my week. I was getting overwhelmed because I was going hour by hour instead of thinking like what were the like starting big and then breaking it down. Like I'm a big reverse engineer, and I know that you are not.
No, I'm not. So it's like this is really this. So planning your week is an integrator task if you really think about it, right? And like if you're a visionary, maybe you struggle with that, right? Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I realized that when I brought on help to help me plan my week, plan my things, I got more effective, right? So like I really believe that it's who, not how. You're gonna see, like, if you guys, people who know me, people who do business with me, you're gonna see the way I solve problems is always who, not how. There's a book about it. I haven't read the book, but that's just something that comes a little bit intuitively to me. Who, not how. So for planning my week, which is something I've struggled with, it is a lot of integrator stuff. You have to be very organized. You have to be able to think in a different way than maybe a visionary might. I've got, like, the way my brain works, I've got complex ideas and plans just jumbled around my head, and getting that organized into systems known as a calendar is incredibly difficult for me. So what I did is I brought on somebody who can really help me navigate through that and help me create systems for that. And we're going to show you that in a little bit. And it's been working. Like I got all my glass balls done. And I'll tell you what a glass ball is in a second. And they didn't get dropped. And I got a lot of my minor and medium tests done. Glass balls are what I got the idea from somebody in the chat. So you've got, there's different balls you're juggling, and sometimes you drop the ball. Sometimes you'll just drop the ball because you've got so much going on. But a lot of the balls that you drop are rubber balls that you drop them, and they'll drop and they'll bounce off the ground, and you'll actually be able to catch them later. You'll actually be able to catch them later. But some of the balls that if you drop them, they're gone. They break, they shatter, and they're glass balls, right? You don't want to drop those balls. So what I like to do is, and Melissa helps me with this, she's amazing. One of the first questions she asked me when we were done planning the week was, Munif, what are your glass balls for the week? And you guys should know your glass balls. Like Caroline, I'm sure you've got glass balls. Let's be conscious. What are your glass balls this week? And if that's something that you didn't get to when you planned on it, how can you reschedule it for later in that week? I had to move one of my glass ball items 3 times. I had to move it 3 times, and it got done though. And it's so ironic because it took 15 seconds for me to do it. I thought it was a lot more work than it really was, but I actually had done the work. It was some tax work. I had done it 6 months ago, and I had saved it. And when I actually sat down to do it, I had realized I actually done 99% of it. And it took me 15 seconds, and I sent it off, and it was done. But if I didn't schedule it, wouldn't have happened. I would have dropped that glass ball. Caroline, do you want to chime in? What do you think about the glass ball analogy?
I love the glass ball analogy. So I'm still filling out my sheet while Munif is talking, because this is like my time to get things done. If I don't, I'm not going to get it done another time. And I thrive off of color coordination, because just the way my brain works. And I had a business coach come into my small business, and like the way our brains work, will pick things up faster if you color coordinate. So you can see what I did here at the top. Like I have to do these core workouts. They're gold. I struggle, and I think you and I both, Munif, like we don't take the time to always eat or make sure that we're taking care of ourselves the way that we should. So I want to make sure that I eat lunch, because the way my body works, I wake up in the morning and I have to eat, or else like around 10 a.m. I'm like, oh, I'm out of energy. So those are specific things I'm making non-negotiables. But the glass balls, I halfway was listening. You mentioned that the glass balls are the ones, if you drop, they shatter and it's not good. And we talked about the rubber balls. Okay. Yes. I wanted to make sure that was covered. So for me, my glass balls that I have to make happen, like I was talking with Carolina and I was talking with Justin, who was just out here at the mastermind. These are 2 that I can't miss. Justin and I have rescheduled. This was one of the glass balls. We were trying to have a conversation on Friday. And then he's out of town. Actually, I have to move this over to Tuesday. Because he's busy on Monday. So on Tuesday at 11 a.m., it's going to be 1 p.m. his time. I also like function my brain knowing I'm on Arizona time, where everybody else is on Eastern time. So I'm loving this. I hope everybody else is kind of taking the time to make your own planner while you're watching us and you're talking. But the glass balls that can't move for me, like this accountability group meeting, I've been trying to attend the accountability group for Hawaii for like 4 months. But they're in Hawaii and they're 3 hours behind us, and their Zoom starts at 7:30 Hawaii time. And I'm trying to be asleep for my non-negotiable of 7 hours by like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. at the very, very latest. But 8 p.m. is really where I'm trying to like be in bed. So I'm asleep at like 8:30. But I have to attend this because they only do it on Mondays. So I got to make sure that I'm in there for that. And I'm going to actually come back through here and change my times. That's one of my non-negotiables, one of my glass balls that I cannot absolutely, maybe I'm going to change it to a cement ball. So it's so heavy that I can't move it. But yeah, the moving and the static movements and things are great. I need to spend more time planning out my daily dial stuff and the themes. So that's where I'm at on this. I know that I'm filling out my planner at the same. Is this easy to read? Is this too hard?
No, this is good. Let me ask you something. I know you've got lunch, and that's something that's important to you because you have to nourish yourself. Are you making your own lunch?
No. Well, sort of. It's a pre-made salad, and all I do is stir it.
Okay, good. Because I know we talked about bringing in somebody.
I know. I have that actually on my my desk. January is when I'm gonna have the task rabbit out to get somebody to meal prep for me. I am gonna go grocery shopping today though, because I'm gonna be I'm buying gifts.
You're gonna be grocery shopping. So what's stopping you from making a task today to start messaging, like scheduling a task this week to start messaging people, right? So like to start getting interest and finding the right person now. Not that they're gonna start now, but because like what I realize is when we like things take twice as long as you want them to, right? So if you really want somebody to January 2nd, I don't know what January 1st is. I'm not sure if it's like a Wednesday or a Friday.
Well, let's take a look. I think January 1st is a Saturday.
Okay, great. So maybe you want somebody January 2nd coming in, right? And maybe you start messaging people now on TaskRabbit and telling them what you're looking for, and you find the right one who's somebody who's super down to come in and meal prep for you on Sundays. And maybe I don't know, maybe the 26th they come and they do a week, right? And you just see what they do, and they grocery shop for you, right? That's part of it. They go get the groceries, and you just try it out. And if you really like it, guess what? You're good. You're set for January 1st or January 2nd for them coming in, and you ask them that when they cook everything, they put it in the containers and set it up for you, right? Like that should be automated. Like that's not your job anymore to like meal prep and cook and all that stuff. Like
you're 100% right. And just so everybody knows why we're talking about this, like we should be doing high level things. We're business owners. We're trying to be doing the most efficient things through our day, and we can make more money on the phone talking to sellers or dispoing deals, whatever it may be. And this is something I actually need to add in here. Like, where do I want to go moving forward? Do I want to continue? This is something that I've been like, you and I talked for a little bit and I wasn't, we've had a lot happen this week, and I am trying to decide, like, do I want to get back into like locking up deals, or do I want to continue dispoing? So that's something I really need to sit and like think about. I'm probably going to give myself like a pros and cons list. Like, what do I want to do? So I'm going to make that like a non-negotiable. I'll probably do that on Tuesday.
Do that, because that's so important for people to do, because you're really structuring your part of your core values in business, right? You're like, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do these things, right? For me, it was acquisitions, right? And that means when there are dispo opportunities, I don't even look at them. I don't spend 2 seconds looking at them. That's just not what I do, right? So like that is so important. I think that's a glass ball.
I concur. So if you see, I'm trying to like get in here. What are things I can't miss? Like red, this absolutely cannot be moved. Well, yeah, I'm good, because then I have a Zoom. See, now that I'm looking at things, I have a Zoom at 2:00. So I'm probably going to move this to 4 to. I don't know how do you do this? I'm just going to bring it down. Watch this. I'm going to bring it down to here, and then I'm just going to delete these. I don't know. I'm not quick and fancy with this because I have a Zoom at 2.
Mr. Nick Watches says, are you guys still doing the daily planners, or are you just relying on this process now?
With my journal, I actually have my journal right here. My high performance planner. I should say that. But I'm writing it out here because I like to, it sticks in my brain better if I physically write things out. That's what it works for me. What about you, Munif? Are you like somebody who can just have it like seen. What I'm going to do is plan it out roughly like this. And then the day of, I'm going to go into my journal, like in the morning. I'm going to go through like what we talked about last week on those sheets. I'm going to go through my morning mindset of what thing can I get excited about? What is my message to myself? What are my top 3 tasks that I must absolutely complete that day? But I want to have an overview so I know going into that day what has to happen. Because what I'll do is like I know every Tuesday and Thursday I actually have a Zoom at 2:00. So I have a Zoom here at 2 on Thursday, and then I have a Zoom on Tuesday, and then I have a Zoom on Thursday, which is the newbie Zoom. And then I do one that's called the exec Zoom on Tuesday. So I want to make sure that I get those planned. And then I want to take time to plan that out. So I'm probably going to come over here. I'll probably do that here at 11. I'll plan out what's going to happen in this exec Zoom. And I'm going to ask the exec students like what they need help with so I can make sure that I'm bringing the most value in there. But yeah, that's what I like to do. What about you, Munif?
I've tried so many different things and I have not been able to stay consistent. And it's because I'm like rebellious by nature against like rules, right? Like if there's a game, if we're playing, it's not that I like to break the rules. I like to just figure out ways to do things outside the box. That's just been my nature. That's why I love creative finance, because it's very much against, outside the box. It's not like, hey, I'm going to go get a loan. It's, hey, let's leverage your loan, right? So the challenge for me has always been, if I set a schedule for myself, I will rebel against it, even if I'm the one who made the schedule. So what's been working last week is creating these soft time blocks for things where I can move things around between them. And it's still a work in progress. And I'm going to bring Melissa here shortly to show because what I want to do is I want to audit when I actually did things, because I do get things done, but I want to audit, hey, when did I actually do I actually get work done at 2:00, or do I actually get work done at 7:00? So why schedule things for 2:00 if you really like working at 7, right? So even planning my stuff for next week, there's a lot of stuff I didn't get done, right? And like Friday happened and I didn't get it done. And I was going to put it to Sunday to do. Like I was going to put some things for me to do. And I was like, wait a minute. I know myself. I hate doing things on Sunday. Like Sunday is my time to like sleep in, relax, rejuvenate, call my family. I'll watch a movie on a Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every time I put stuff for me to do on Sunday, it just, I don't get it done. And I end up scheduling it for next week, right? So if Melissa was on the phone with me, when we're organizing stuff, she's like, do you want to put it Sunday? And I was like, I normally would, but you know what? Let's save us both the misery and let's just schedule for next week and we'll just do it. And then when I opened my calendar today to see what I had to do today, it was this podcast and planning the week. And I was like, whew, I can relax today. I don't feel guilty about moving. So a lot of this scheduling and calendaring is knowing yourself. Knowing who you are. Don't judge yourself. You're not a piece of crap because you don't want to do stuff on Sunday. Like it's okay not to do things on certain days. Like it's okay. It's okay. You're not a piece of crap because you don't want to do stuff on Sundays. For me, driving for dollars on Saturday was a fun thing. It's my Saturday fun, right? I got to drive for dollars for 8 hours yesterday. I got to hang out with my best friend Matt, and we ate one and got food. We made seller calls and we drove around and texted sellers. But we had to make it fun. I have Melissa here. Oh, she
stepped away, but I'm going to chime in because I'm kind of like that. But if I turn it into a game, it's more fun for me. So I like to have the evenings to myself because I like start so early in the day. So like my work day is done by like 2 p.m. and anything after 2 p.m. I can do. But what I've realized, if I give myself those time blocks and I set a timer, I'm able to achieve things faster, because with my ADD, if I don't create it into a game where I'm like, how efficient can I be in 30 minutes? Then I'll be like, okay, well, I can actually message Munif because I have the alerts that come up on my computer screen. I have alerts on my phone. I've actually taken away and I mentioned this last week, but I've taken away every notification except for text messages and work emails on my phone.
That's amazing.
So I only get text messages and calls. And actually, I love the new iPhone app update, or the new iPhone update, where you can change it to be like focus, do not disturb. I don't know if it'll highlight that. do not disturb personal work and sleep. And oh my gosh, I have it on that all the time. So unless I'm like looking for your text message, I won't see it because I don't let the alerts come through. And I've realized I am more efficient that way. But I see that Melissa's here.
Did you know I'm evil incarnate? Because I'll text Fayez and his notifications will be off, and I'll be like, disturb anyway.
Send it anyways. Notify.
Yeah, it'll just be like a meme that he doesn't like. He'll be like, what the F, dude? Oh man.
All right. Well, I love that. Oh, what's up? Oh, Kelly Hanno's on here.
Oh, beautiful. Kelly's the best. You're the best, Kelly. We love you too. You're amazing. I remember when I first met Kelly. She was like at the Triple Digit Flip premiere, and she's awesome, guys. Like if you don't know,
Kelly does a lot.
Yeah, if you haven't connected with Kelly, like go reach out to Kelly. She is amazing.
All right. Well, I see Melissa's here now. Who is Melissa, and why are you so cool?
Oh, hi, Melissa.
Morning, guys. How are you?
So good. How are you? Good morning.
Good. I love that you guys are having this. This is so helpful, and the fact that Caroline, I also have ADD.
No, you don't. Really?
Yes. You probably didn't want to hear that from your executive assistant. You're like, wait, what? Like,
no. I've been working with Melissa for a week now, and I would never have guessed. I'm just blown away.
But you know what I'm noticing? Like so many people, not alone in like the mentorship that I'm seeing that are really successful. I'm Kelly. I'm currently using a Google Planner sheet. So I just went over to Google and I just got this sheet right here, and I'm using it to kind of have a rough overview of how my week will be. And then I'm going back into the high performance planner and I'm putting it down because I like to do it every day because it helps me get my gratitudes out of the way. And then physically writing things out makes my day easier. Just for me, that's how I like to work. But this is like, honestly, a template that's free on Google. Stop it. This dog, they want to go out to the park. But what I want to, I took them there earlier, but for me, physically writing things out is really helpful. But Melissa, what I was going to say, and Munif, so many people I see that are really high level and successful people are ADD and they don't think inside of the box. Like,
wow,
we're not neurotypical, and the way that we think we can like solve problems faster. And I think that's why we are so good at what we do. So
wow,
don't be an ADHD. Just use it like we're entertaining. You know, we got different flavors than everybody else. So it's a superpower. Just we got to learn how to use it.
Yeah. I got diagnosed with it last year, and I went to like 3 different professionals just to double check. And like my therapist just told me how to plan my day. Use timers. I use timers now.
And ADD people.
Yeah, I have to use timers. Another thing I use, maybe you guys have heard of. Have you heard of FocusMate?
No.
FocusMate, you guys should go on there. There's a free version too, and I'm not sponsored by them, but but basically it's a website you go on and you schedule a 50-minute session with a random stranger in the world. You guys both go on live, and you just take 30 seconds to say like, okay, in this 50 minutes, I'm gonna get X, Y, and Z done. What are you getting done? And they tell you, and like, cool, awesome, let's do it. And then you're just, it kind of helps, like it gives an accountability aspect to it because there's like someone on the screen like working with you, and there's just like 50-minute sessions like that.
That's amazing.
So that's what I do. FocusMate, I use timers. Well,
Melissa, before you get into that, like, who are you? Like, there's like 37. Who are you? How did you meet us? And like, what's going on with you?
So I joined Sub 2, which is how I met you guys, probably about 3-4 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And before then, I worked for a general contractor. So that was my past life. I did a lot of commercial, a lot of projects for Facebook, Amazon, pretty demanding clients. And then I decided like I wanted to do my own thing, and jumped into Sub 2. And now I'm working with your team, which is awesome because it's just it's an awesome opportunity to constantly talk to motivated sellers. And
What
and then,
happened with the role play competition? Tell us about what
oh
happened.
my gosh. So that was awesome. I did not even expect to do that. I think it was last 2 Fridays ago. I got tagged in a post. Sam called me out, saying like you should do it. And to be honest, I like ignored it. I was like, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. And then Tuesday we like talked again for something totally different. And then right before getting off the call, he was like, "Hey, by the way, like the role playing competition." I was like, "Crap! I was hoping you were not gonna bring it up." But then he was like, "Just do it. Just do the tryouts, and just do it. Just do it for fun." I'm like, "Okay." And then I didn't even expect that I would pass the tryouts or round one, and did not even expect to be in second place. So
Wow.
next to
Well,
Jeff,
so
like
Melissa won second place in the sub 2 role play competition. Somebody who joined sub 2 3 to 4 months ago and beat out people who've been closing deals for a long, long time, right? Like you really impressed everybody who watched you. I mean, people were like, we had people who were like, I want Melissa on my acquisitions team. I want Melissa on my acquisitions team. So like, Melissa, you're really good. All that work you've been doing for Team Ninja, calling sellers, closing deals, that's been paying off. Like people can really see all your hard work come through. She got the highest score in the first round. Yes. That's like literally what I did in the Closers Olympics, right? I got the highest score in the first round and I got second in the Closers. So it's like mirroring. So you're really good at mirroring, Melissa. Please don't leave me and Melissa tired. You're awesome.
never,
So
never
Melissa has
tired.
been helping me as we brought her on as an executive assistant to our team. She's been helping me get a lot of my life together. I am not good. Melissa, how good am I at tracking and planning and organizing? Why don't you speak a little bit to that?
I don't know what you did before me. Like I don't know. Like,
that I want to quote that, right? I don't know what you did before me. Right. That's exactly. I don't know how I got things done. I got things done, right? As you can see.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't really know. I just kind of did things. It's kind of like shooting from the hip. That's just how I live my life. I don't know. Maybe Melissa. Maybe I have it. Maybe I have ADD. Maybe I have ADHD. I have no idea.
Maybe.
He hid in his hoodie. That's so funny. I don't think my brain is whether it's ADD, ADHD, or like mild autism or moderate to severe. Who knows? I don't think I'm very neurotypical.
Autism and ADHD actually border each other, just so you know. There's a lot of like, my ex was a nurse and they were like, I thought you were autistic for a little bit. And no, it's just like like autism and ADD are very like, they go hand in hand, just so you know.
So like, I don't, my brain, I don't know, like the word, there's like neurotypical is like a trigger word, right? Like it's like people have a lot of associations with that. I can like, there's like things that can happen. You can tell me one of our Airbnbs caught on fire and I wouldn't faze me. I'd be like, all right, duh. I just got a call yesterday. Our Airbnb is going to be delayed 3 weeks because X, Y, and Z didn't happen. Right. And the guy telling me was like freaking out. And I was like, no, it's fine. And don't worry about it. I know it was your responsibility, but really it's my responsibility. Don't worry about it. We're going to do these things to fix it. And it's not going to happen again because we're going to do X, Y, and Z. We're just going to get better. That stuff doesn't stress me out. But if you're like, hey, sit here and schedule out your day, or here, like Melissa will give me some basic things to do, like make a list for me, and it will I will stress out. I'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Where I'm like, I don't even send her things. I literally have to. I'm like, I literally voice memo, hey Melissa, can you please do this, and this, and she'll do that, and like so much stress has gone in my life, but like other things will happen and it doesn't stress me out. So my brain is wired a little bit differently. Tyra says, I think 80s babies were just diagnosed as ADHD. That's so funny. Okay.
So I want to ask you, Munif,
yes.
everybody, just so you guys know, I'm still in the background here. I've added more to my journal while they're talking.
Can you share it?
Yeah, I'll just keep it sharing while you guys talk, if that's what you guys want to see. Because I'm like, this is my time to plan. And I'm being pro serious about it. The color coordination helps me.
Let's go.
But how do you audit your week, Melissa? How do you make sure he's being successful because he's hired you as his assistant? How do you guys make sure that you're getting stuff done?
Well, probably the one thing just to acknowledge is, you know, people go really, they get really ambitious about planning their week, and then they feel they beat themselves up over it when they don't. So I think it's just acknowledging, some things are gonna slip, and then after you guys just accept the fact that that may happen, especially if you're like Munif, he's like running like multiple businesses and all that, just ask ourselves, okay, what are the glass balls? It's like what like need to be done. So we make a list of the glass balls, and we schedule it like right there, like find a time slot. And kind of like Munif was saying, the glass balls had to get rescheduled like 3 times, but just the act of putting it on the calendar, like increase your chances of it, you know, of finishing it like tenfold. Like you can't lie to yourself and just like, oh, I'll figure out a time slot later. Like no, like put it in there now. And if it gets rescheduled, that's fine. It scoots to Tuesday, scoots to Wednesday, but he got all of them done by Friday. So, and that's the important part. And then, um, and I also like check in with him, like at the end of each day, like, did you do this glass ball? Did you? He's like, crap, I didn't. Like, okay, well, we just got to reschedule it, just scoot it down. So, number one, identify your glass balls, right? Um,
Okay,
and
so
then,
maybe if you have if you guys are using this sheet, put them down like probably the to-dos. These could be your glass balls that have to happen.
mhm. And it
Okay.
kind of aligns with um, Brian Tracy's book, Eat That Frog. Like he has like a
Oh yeah.
similar process where you label all your A's, right? Your A task, your B task. A tasks are like the glass balls, like there's actual harm if I don't get this done, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd recommend going back to what like Brian Tracy says. He has he organizes tasks from A through like F, and like F tasks are like, or I think D tasks, and like D tasks are like there's no harm, no foul if they don't even get touched, and you're gonna have stuff like that. Um, and if you keep having D tasks like being scooted down the week, or months, you just ask yourself like, okay, maybe this task isn't that important to me. Like maybe it should be taken off the list entirely and or delegated to someone
Yeah,
else.
I delegate first before I even think. Like I am so good at delegating stuff, um, and it I've just been really good at it since I was a kid, because I am not good at many things in life except delegating. What does that mean? It means that develop the skill to have a talent to figure out who's the right person for the job. Right? I can go hang a painting, like I can really go hang a painting, but I saw like it'll take me a lot. It'll stress me out. Um, it'll take me 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours, depending on the size of the painting. It's just a lot, right? I could do it, or my neighbor Phil, he's really handy. Um, I'll watch his lizard for him no matter what, whenever he needs me to. But then when I ask him to hang my painting, he'll come over and he'll do it in 5 minutes. It'll literally take the guy 5 minutes to hang a painting. So it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to delegate things. It's okay not to be good at everything. It's actually okay to not to be good at most things. It's fine. It's okay. Melissa knows. So Melissa, you've been working with me for a week, and in this past, literally, it's been a week right now. Right, today's Sunday. It's been a week. You helped me organize my entire life, and that's a work in progress. So we were just week one out of a week, God knows how many. Number two, you place second in the closers role playing competition. You helped Noah standardize like the first half of his entire Airbnb business. That's a huge win. That was me and Noah were talking about it. That's a freaking huge win. And then four, you've created a roadmap on how you can be successful in the different things we're doing. So how has this week been for you? Like just trying this out. How has it been on your end?
It's been a lot of fun, and I feel really grateful to like be in this position too, because I mean, I just being in that meeting with Noah and you is an awesome like fly on the wall position. Like you guys are like, yeah. What I admire about you guys are action takers,
Yes.
You know, you probably just don't write everything down or organize it, but like I'm blown away by like how many stuff you throw out there. And then I just have to make sure I wrangle it to get like
right. And
like, you know,
right. I don't think, right. So you're like, Munif, how do you get so much things done? It's because I just do. I just go, I'm like, oh, we're gonna hire somebody. I will get somebody in that role who's gonna fly out in 48 hours. I'll get that person in 30 minutes or less, right? Like Mike, he came back. Mike Ferruzzi came back from Houston. He was like, it was awesome, but all these things went wrong. And I'll go, perfect. Let's track it. I'll put you in the meeting so next time we do it, we'll calibrate, right? But guess what? We got the job done, right?
Yeah,
the job got done. So that is, Ty says, I need a wrangler. Yeah, find yourself a Melissa, right? Find yourself a Melissa. Melissa's amazing. Melissa is going to be a key personnel in our company who's going to help us make amazing things happen. So by the way, Melissa, did I see? I forget, right? So I've got this cup that says amnesia. I forget things. Melissa doesn't forget things. I think she has a photographic memory. I wanted to remember the meetings, the SOP meetings we're going to set up for NOAA. I want Mike Ferruzzi on them because he's really, we brought him on. He's got a fresh insight and he knows what he's doing. I want him to help us with our SOPs. Caroline, I can see, do you have something to say? I saw your face twitch a little bit.
No, well, I'm thinking, I'm like trying to get all of my stuff done. So if you guys are watching in the background here, this is how I'm planning stuff out. So I did at the bottom. I want to ask you, Munif, when you're available this week, because Christmas is Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we have, then it's the day after. We're probably going to spend time with our family. Mm-hmm. I want to know when we can do our podcast episode this week.
That's right.
And when, like, I'm trying to plan out my days. So I know like Tuesdays and Thursdays are like my busiest days for me generally in the week. I try and load my week up that way so I can do all of my extra stuff on like Mondays and Fridays. What does your Friday look like? And then I'll talk about kind of how
I'm free on Friday. So I'm free. I've got Twitch time from 2 to 5.
What time?
So for anywhere
3
between
to 5?
2 to 5 p.m. Eastern.
2 to 5 p.m. So that's going to be here. All right. I'm just going to make a note of that.
Noon to 3 time frame.
Okay.
We can do the podcast.
Munif is free for podcast. And this is going to make my life easier so we don't have to go back through text messages when we're in the middle of being busy. And then we can like plan out what we want to talk about. Make that orange. But what I was thinking is I just want to show you guys how I'm thinking this. So I know the main one is these blue, like teal blue ones. I really want to like, as a giver, I know that I'm really good at comping and I want to be able to help more people comp. And I've been asking questions on my Instagram. So I want to like explain how I thought out this process. So I know I want to comp twice a week. And I'll do it for like an hour so from 5 to 6 really. I want to comp properties, but I want to let everybody know that I'm going to do that. So I'm going to make a post at 10 a.m. On Instagram that I will be comping properties at 5 p.m. So I just want to explain that if you guys are ever like, how do I get people to actually show up so I can help them do those things? And then I also need to plan out what days this week I want to do my hot yoga. But perfect that we can do this for our podcast. That makes this much easier for me. That's just what I was thinking. So I'm working in the background while you guys are chatting. I just want to share where my thought process was.
That's great. I wanted to what we can do when it's a good time to do it. Maybe Melissa can share her screen and show how she does it. I actually have no idea how the hell she does it. She just does.
Are you writing it out physically, Melissa? Or are you doing it on a computer?
Well, whenever you send me voice memos, that's like the main way of giving me a task. I record all the voice memos on our Trello board. And then I start organizing them like, okay, what is this something that could be done in like 2 weeks? Like, oh, is this a glass ball that needs to be done tomorrow? Like stuff like that. Or this is high level, like, look, we're going to do this sometime in the future type task. And if it's something that has to be in this week, I go to his Google Calendar and he has 3 types of like windows. There's a task time window. So you'll throw in a task that he needs to do.
Do you want to show? You can show us really quickly. So at the bottom here under your face, you'll see I'm going to stop my screen share. So it says share with the plus sign inside the monitor. And I would recommend doing the share the screen, and then on the right side, do like a Chrome tab, because if you do your entire screen, it'll show your entire desktop.
Chrome tab. Share is easiest. Okay, share screen. Oh, Chrome. Click on the Chrome tab.
So I would open up your own Chrome tab window and then share that specific tab. That's what I was just doing.
Okay. Let's see.
And then I see Ty, Brady, Munif threw up your comments there. But you can comp using Zillow. You can comp. I use PropStream. I learned how to comp from PropStream. There's a ton of videos. I'm actually thinking of, I'll probably do that this week. I've been talking about it for so long, so I'll put it on my calendar. And I went into Munif's acquisition team with Melissa 2 weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago now, where I came in and I showed you guys how to comp? But I've gotten all of my comping really from Jamil, like learning how to comp with those comping rules. So remember, if you guys I know we're talking about real estate, and this is not only real estate based, but this is what we're focused on. Whenever you're comping, guys, you need to do like the reverse engineering. What is an appraiser going to appraise the property for? So you need to follow those guidelines so you can make sure that your property appraises for that. Okay, so what are we looking at here, Melissa?
So real quick.
Okay,
before we get into that, guys, we've got 33 people in here. Melissa is going to literally go over my calendar, right? What I got done, what I didn't get done this week. So if you want any insight to what my day-to-day, what my week looks like, what Caroline's week looks like, how we plan our weeks, please go make a post on Facebook. Go make a post on Instagram. Let people know what we're doing. I'm literally walking with Melissa right now to audit things I got done and things I didn't get done. There's a lot of things that like we're going to look at last week, and we're going to look at what I got done, when I got them done, and calibrate next week, right? This will give you an insight. Maybe you're way more productive than me, right? Like this should give you confidence. Like, look, holy crap, Munif doesn't get done half of the things on his plate. And like he's doing, he's buying up Airbnbs. Like this is like, none of us are Superman, right? Like we're all human beings. And we're like, me and Caroline and Melissa, we're opening the glass door to show you what's going on behind the scenes. So if you're getting any value, please make a post on Instagram, tag us, go post.
That'd be so huge.
Yeah, let people know what we're doing right here. Because, really, at the end of the day, if we don't feel like we're giving you guys enough value, we're probably going to stop doing this, right?
Yeah. Look at that post. Amanda, I just put you on my calendar to get with you for Dispo. I don't know if you saw that, but I saw your message on Instagram. I want to get with you this week, but I'm glad to see that this is helping you guys.
The only way we can really tell if people are getting value is if people actually show up to watch. And if no one really shows up to watch, we're going to go, hey, you know what? This is great, but we can do this. We can save more time by just doing this on our own and just not stream it, right? By streaming it, we're answering questions. We're showing you what you're doing. We're screen sharing. And really, like, we want to give you the value, but if it's not giving value, we'll have to find other ways we can give you value. Does that make sense, guys? Right in the
100%. And like, look, right under my name, that's my Instagram handle. Right under my hand can't go down through the camera, but underneath Munif, that's his Instagram handle. Let us know. And like Amanda messaged me on Discord, but I'm trying to only be on Discord during the week. So if you guys absolutely ever need help, I'm on Instagram all the time. I'm a millennial. I'm checking. That's why I stay in contact with my cousins and stuff. So message me on Instagram if you guys need anything at the Caroline Kane.
All right, awesome. So Melissa, let's audit last week. Let's take a look. Let's do that. So this is my calendar. I share it with Melissa, and I'm sure you guys can see what's going on. It's so funny because I have no idea what the heck I did last week. I think you can hide. It says sharing your screen. I think you can hide the little icon. Yeah. Okay, amazing. Okay, great. So did I get things done? My car broke down on Tuesday. That was fun.
Yeah, so like let's go over your glass balls. You sent your financials to Faisal
on Friday. I did it Friday.
Yeah, and that was a task originally planned for Monday and it got scooted down, but you get it done at least Friday,
Yes.
And that was important, or else you would have been in trouble with Uncle Sam.
Yes. Oh, God. Yeah, I would have owed a lot of money.
So you got that done. You also you said all your like your doctor appointments except the dentist one.
I have to do the dentist. I did everything. I set up all my other appointments. My mom has been on my butt about that. She's like, "When are you gonna go to the doctor? I'll schedule."
You
I'm
got
like, "Oh, I'll do it, mom."
you got all your shots.
Oh my gosh, I got both my COVID and my flu shot, and then I literally there was a thing in my calendar that was like feeling like crap because I got both of my shots. I think Friday 9 to 11 a.m. I like literally didn't do anything.
But at least you did it.
I did it. Amazing. Yes, Melissa.
We were supposed to space out those shots, but hey, all at once.
I told my doctor was like, typically I want you guys to space them out, but you can do them today, like the same day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not coming back. Like, I don't know when I'm gonna see you. I haven't seen her in 2 years, so I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna see you next. So we either do them now or I don't know. And she was like, let's just do.
We already got the ball rolling with starting the SOP meeting with NOAA.
Yes.
And that's important because we're going to fly some folks out soon to start launching Airbnbs. And I would say the two glass balls that got scooted over to this week is recording your pitch deck.
I'm delegating that. I'm delegating that to one of my friends who's a voice actor. He's gonna be better at it, and
perfect.
Yeah. So we're delegating that to. So I actually changed it to Monday to hire him for that.
Nice. Yeah, and that's like an example of like what Brian Tracy says in his book. It's like at some point you acknowledge like your A task could be D tasks, and just have someone else do it. Like just face the music. You're not gonna do it. Just delegate it to someone else. So that's good. And then you had a W-2 training, which got scooted over to this week for Monday.
Correct. Yes.
So is that a glass ball still?
Yes, absolutely. Like I'm actually 3.5 months late for that training. And I got reached out by HR. Like literally HR reached out. They're like, this is our third attempt to let you know, like, you haven't done your mandated training. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I will get it. So I need to do it's a glass ball.
Okay. Glass balls. So that was last week's glass balls. And all the other stuff, this looks very like convoluted, but there's a method to the madness.
There is a method to the madness.
So like
yes.
So these like blue blocks, there's not like anything in them yet. They're just like windows. So Munif has like 3 types: a task time window from 9 to 11 a.m. And then buffer time windows, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and then a Twitch time window. And because most of his like tasks, they're all or the things he do, they fall in one of those 3 categories, where like task time is something he has to do, like sending over financials to Faisal for some tax recording purposes. So we'll throw that in there, or setting a doctor's appointment, throw that in there. Buffer time is mainly like with meetings. Task could go in there too, but that helps me see like when he's even available to meet with people, because I had to like schedule meetings with him with other people, and instead of doing the back and forth, like when are you available? Well, when are you available? When, like, I just go to buffer time windows, and I know that it falls in there. And then Twitch time obviously is when he gets on Twitch with like the Closer's Corner, or it's with Sam.
Like Monday is with Noah, actually. Monday, Noah's going to be on Twitch, which is really cool.
Oh, nice.
And I always get these ideas. Like, I'll be talking to somebody. I'll be like, oh, I'll bring you on Twitch this week, right? And that's been such a challenge for figuring out times. But now it's like, I know what times I'm streaming, and I can be like, hey, Friday at 2, get on Twitch. And they'll go, great, right? And it's like this structure that exists. But then I get the freedom to like make those like really random in the moment decisions right? Like that's how I like to live my day to day. I just like to go, oh, I want to do this, or oh, I want to do this, or oh, but then there's
Mhm.
a structure where I know where to slap it on in the week.
Yeah.
So I'm not feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah. And like for other people that are listening, it's like, oh, well, Twitch time doesn't apply to me. Well, Munif, let me ask you this.
Yes.
The reason why you're doing Twitch is you have a goal in mind, right?
Yes.
It's to expand your brand.
Right.
Right. So like for other people, like, and this is going back to the drawing board, just ask yourself, like, what do you want in life?
Mm-hmm.
And make sure you set like 2 hours every day that's just dedicating to that goal.
Right.
So his goal is expanding his brand. So like if I don't put like Twitch time at least 2 hours or 3 hours a day, like I'm fooling myself that I'm actually working towards my goal. Right. So if like another person's goal is to get an Airbnb next year, then like put, I don't know, Airbnb pursuing time, whether it's like, oh, reading up on it, networking with people, helping other wholesalers talk to their motivated sellers that could be good creative deals for an Airbnb, right? Just block that time out, right? That's like dedicated to that goal. Because you can't do everything in a day, but if you consciously like think about your goal in your planning every day, like it really helps go a long way with reaching it. So that's why he has his Twitch time. For everyone else, it's something different. It's a different goal.
Right. It might be talking to sellers. It might be talking to other sub-2 students. Maybe spend 2 hours a week outreaching to other sub-2 students to see. I mean, whoever was in the book club today, we talked about reaching out to other people and helping them. So maybe you have 2 hours a day where you're helping other sub-2 students, right? I use Twitch to do that. For me, Twitch is a platform I can bring people on, and I can help a wide audience of people learn something new. Like Monday, we're going to be doing Airbnbs, so you'll learn what there's to learn about Airbnbs on Monday. We don't charge for Twitch. I don't charge any money to do what I do, but that's
what is your pitch deck? What exactly is that?
Oh, that's such a good question. So I actually own 10% of a cannabis company, and they asked me to record the voice for our slideshow because we're raising private money for cannabis investors, right? And so I'm like a minority shareholder in it. Like it's like we're licensed in California. Like we're doing big things, and they're like, Munif, you've got a great voice. Can you do it? And it's just something like that. I love the company. I'm really good at like using my voice for that kind of stuff, but it's not really highest and best use of my time. So I've decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to hire my friend who's a voice actor who's just as good as I am at reading, lines on something, and have him do it. And then it'll get done. And it's not just something I'm doing. Right. So it's a pitch deck for investment for another company I own. Hope that answers your question, Christina.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack you. So I just thought that was a really good. We were just talking about the pitch deck.
Right. And so I'm things that like I really shouldn't be doing. Like you got to really think about highest and best use. Right. So like put your skills and your talents to use, whatever they are, and be doing that over and over and over and over and over again. And other things, figure out ways you can delegate them to other people. Look, people are going to delegate stuff to you all the time. Right. Like I get stuff delegated to me from all the time. For example, like Pace asked me to bring him Airbnbs, right? It's not his highest and best use to underwrite Airbnb deals, right? So he delegated that to me and Noah, but that's highest and best use for us, 100,000%, 100,000% for us to go and find really good Airbnb deals to bring to Pace, right? But that means there are things like cleaning my toilet that's not highest and best, so I have to delegate that to people who come in and do that for me.
I love that. Now, I was messaging you in the side chat there. I think that we've been going for about an hour and 5 minutes. Let's give this 5 minutes more on what we can do. And those of you that are watching, if you are on Facebook, I know it's streaming right now to mine and Munif's pages. Just click on that StreamYard. We'll see your name. But everybody on Twitch, we can see what you guys are saying. If you have any questions about how we plan out our days, or if you want any insight, let's help you out in these last 5 minutes. Because Munif, right after this, we are doing our podcast, and then it's our Sunday, and we want to go be lazy and watch a movie or hang out. And just so you know, last night, I'm sorry if you hear the dog scratching. Last night I did see the new Spider-Man movie. I recommend you guys all see it. It was really awesome.
It was good? Okay.
It was really good.
Melissa, while you're here, let me ask, is it okay if, I mean, I don't know what your son, I don't want to intrude on your Sunday. Is it okay if we map out my week for next week after the podcast, after me and Caroline do our podcast? We usually do it for like an hour. Is that okay?
Yeah. You have a call with Munif in an hour and a half. Sam.
In an hour and a half. I will just call. Let's just push that to like 2.5 hours. He doesn't know I'm calling him, by the way, or maybe he does. Oh, he does.
He does. He's texting me.
Oh, he's texting me. I didn't know I was calling him. It wasn't him. It was me. Can I push that? Can I call him at noon his time? Let me ask him.
Hey, Munif, I have a question for you because
I have an answer.
You've been in the mentorship for 7 months now, 8 months. Do you think you could have done this without focusing on one thing at a time? Do you think you could have had an executive assistant that would help you plan out your days?
Hell no! Oh my gosh, no way! Because
I just wanted to highlight that because guys, like I have been focusing on other things than like my own side hustle. And guess what? It's not like it's the end of the world, but I don't have an executive assistant. I don't have a team as big as Munif. And if you focus on one thing, everything else can expand from there. So focus on one thing, expand your reach on that. And once you master that, then you can like add on the Melissas to your team, the Sams on your team, and everybody else so you guys can get more deals done. And now Munif has all these opportunities coming to him from going into those Closers Olympics, and people see who he is. So I think you're telling me you're getting people messaging you all the time to call their sellers. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Amazing. That was such a good question. I like this question. Christina asked, "How did I find Melissa?" It's so funny. I found Melissa. She's like a diamond, right? Finding a diamond in a coal mine, and the coal mine is being people who are like, "Hey, can you help? Can you call my sellers?" And the reason I say it's a coal mine because most people who ask me or my team to call their sellers, they don't know the 4 pillars. They don't, whether or not they're new or they're not really sure what they're doing. It's okay. We'll help you with that. But like 99% of the people, like the sellers that we call, where people who are inexperienced or we've never talked to, send them to us. It's usually an unmotivated seller, right? And it's usually a waste of our time. But I had one conversation with Melissa, and I could just tell she was special. Like I tell Melissa this all the time. I could tell she was special. So I asked her, I was like, "Hey, why don't you come and work with my team?" And she was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, I'd love to." And so she was working and she's still working on my team as an acquisition manager and closer. So like she's still doing that. But then, so this is Christina. I'm going to teach you something about leadership. And it's how can you elevate the lives of the people around you? You have to think like that. How can you elevate the lives of the people around you? And Melissa was working a couple places part-time that was not real estate related. And I had a need in my business to have an executive assistant. And Melissa had actually made a flow map on Miro for us without us asking her to. She made this entire process flow map. It was like, "Oh, hey, I saw this need in the business. Here's a process flow map for your business. What do you think?" And we all looked at it and was like really amazed. And I remember that and I was impressed. And I was like, there's something here. And because she did that, when I got approval from my team to go, "Hey, let's bring on somebody to really help as an executive assistant," and the first person I called was Melissa. And I said, "You don't have to do all this part-time stuff. Why don't you use that time to work with us? And now you're fully in real estate. You're doing real estate, and you're learning. And we've solved each other's needs," right? So that's how I found Melissa. But really, it's about elevating people and their lives and finding where you can give them value and they can give you value. So if you're not really sure how to do that, you got to go to the book club. Like the Go Giver that's what the book talks about. And it's really about how you can help people in the things they need help with, right? It's who, not how. So you interview basically got it. I'm definitely good at delegating. Just need someone who gets it to jump in. You know what I mean? Also, is there a Twitch where you guys discuss compensation for your team, including Melissa? We're like figuring that out. Like everything is like fluid, right? So like I don't have my shit figured out. So I literally told Melissa when I hired her, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And she's like, no problem. So like everything is like, we're figuring everything out. Like, but that's what I'm doing. I don't plan, and then do. I don't let not knowing how to do something stop me from hiring somebody, right? We literally hired Mike Ferruzzi, who is going to literally bought plane tickets to go to Texas in 48 hours. And we didn't even know like what we didn't even talk money. And like, I was like, me and Noah were like, we got to pay him. And we're like, crap. And we got him on a call. We're like, how do we pay you? What do you want? And we're like, let's figure it out. Right. But that's how we do. That's how we roll. Right. Like, let's just get the job done. And like, the goal isn't to get the job done. The goal is to keep doing more jobs. Right. So it's like, let's get this job done. Let's see if it's a good fit. And then let's figure things out. Right. Like let's work together and figure it out. So, Melissa, you've seen how I operate. It's constantly mistake after mistake. Seriously, right? Isn't it just like me just bumbling through life? But it just doesn't stop me, right?
Yeah, you're failing forward.
Constantly. I'm not afraid of like at all failing or screwing. I'm just not afraid of making mistakes. Like we've done the same SOP 4 or 5 times. And like we sent people to go do work who've never worked for us without even having that SOP that we redid 4 times. So like it's okay. Get shit done. Sorry, yeah, Caroline, I hijacked off.
No, not at all. I think this is bringing value to everybody. As long as people are getting value, that's all that matters. But guys, the biggest thing that I would say is you've got to be able to correct and continue. Don't expect it to just be, this is how it's going to be every single week. Like every time I plan it, it's going to go perfectly, because it's not. You got to be able to ebb and flow. And that's really what it comes down to. Do you guys get value out of just like sitting and like, you don't have to like interact with us the whole time, but are you stranger, stop it. Do you get value out of being able to like, okay, they're planning out their week, I want to plan out my week at the same time. Is this helpful? Should we continue doing this on Sundays?
I don't know, Caroline. I don't know if they're getting value.
We should do that. Like, should we do this next Sunday, or is it going to be too busy on the holiday? Like, how should we do this next week? Should we even try and do this on Sunday? Should we try and do this? I don't know. Is it going to mess up our whole schedule? You like Tyra, Oscar, and Phil like this? Okay. So
is Phil still like my neighbor, by the way? Because he's not in real estate, but he loves me, and he's the guy who helps me fix things.
Perfect. Well, I want to know if Phil is actually your neighbor. But guys, like I've been filling out the rest of my sheet here, like because I'm doing the 75 hard starting January 1st. Like I have a rough idea. I've already done the first like series. Munif and I are going to be doing the next 3 phases. But he's in real estate. But like I want to study, like I want to not study, but I want to like look into it, at least spend 30 minutes looking into how people are successful in the next 3 phases, because the next 3 phases of 75 hard make it harder. Surprise, surprise. So I want to make sure that I'm successful, because I started it for a week and I was not accountable to myself, because I did it by myself and I wasn't talking to anybody, and a 5-minute cold shower and the 8 critical power tasks. I was not doing a good job in that. So I want to see what other people are doing that they're successful. What is the 75 hard? Oh my gosh. You don't know what the 75 hard is? Where you been? Dude, it's a mental toughness challenge. That's the long and short of it. It's really great. I know Munif and I said that we were like the most successful and organized when we were doing it, because you have to plan out your day. That's really like, I realized I was making the most money. I was doing the best. Like my mental health was the best. I felt good. My anxiety was at the lowest it's ever been when I was doing 75 hard, because every morning I knew I had to wake up and I was consistent with my routine. And that's why I want to do this planning every Sunday. Routine is what I realize I thrive in. And for so long, I was one of those friends that'd be like, don't actually pencil me in for that time slot. Maybe I'll come, maybe I won't. You know, I don't really like being tied down to a schedule. I like to be able to like float to whatever I want. And yeah, Melissa, you like that too. Maybe it's an ADD thing. I'm like, I want to be able to like do whatever. But I really love it, and I want to just also say, dude, So look at this. I want to do the 75 hard. Will you be able to do it next year? I don't know if I can physically do it. Guys, so I don't know if you noticed, I'm standing now. I was sitting down. I have a standing desk that moves. I literally did, so it's 2 45-minute workouts a day. One must be outside. Let me go through all of the rules. You have to drink a gallon of water a day. So I have this big old thing. I drink 2 of these. I got this at Walmart for $10. Stickers not included. Get your own dope stickers that you'd like. Follow a diet. No cheat meals. My diet was giving up processed sugar, take a progress picture every day, and then read 10 pages of self-help book, and no alcohol. I'm fine with no alcohol. But all I did, my first workout was walking for 45 minutes in the morning with my dog. And I might have to, Munif, after this, like we might have to take like a 10-minute break so I can take these dogs out because they're freaking out on me. But yeah, anybody can do this, guys. It's a lifestyle change, really, if you think about it. And it's a marathon. Okay, when I started the 75 hard, I joined a gym. And then I was like, when I used to be, I call myself a retired high school athlete. Like I was in every sport. And I got back into the gym July 1st. I hadn't done any of it because of COVID. And I went hard. I was like, okay, I'm going to be able to do the same weight that I did when I was in the gym all the time. I could barely lift the bar. So don't think you have to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson when you're inside of the gym. Mm-hmm. Do what you can. It's 45 minutes at your pace. Mm-hmm. Walk for 45 minutes in the morning. Walk for 45 minutes in the evening. I did yoga in the evening because my muscles were tight. So whatever works for you. That's
so
my. Go ahead,
I love that. So 75 hard, amazing. Caroline she's actually the person who got me into it. I want you guys to think about something, right? Like we've got half the viewers who jumped, like who started. So with that, like that's my only feedback on value. That's like me and Caroline really, we don't get much feedback on value. So like what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna finish planning our entire weeks. So you're not gonna actually see that, and not because we don't want to share it, but because we really don't feel like we're showing value. I feel like it's going to drop to 10 or 7 people. And it's actually a lot faster if we do it on our own. Like me and Melissa getting it done is a lot faster. It gets 3, 4, 5 times as long if we're streaming it and showing you, which is okay. Like we're not upset. It's just faster. So we're going to do it on our own. If you guys actually want to see the nitty gritty, us problem solving, the high level business challenges in our week, we can do that one day, but you have to be there, right? You have to want to actually see it, maybe make some posts. If there's enough engagement, if there's enough comments that people actually want to see that, we'll actually spend the time out of our days and out of our money-making activities to actually sit down and show you what we're doing. But until then, we're really not going to do that. After we hop off, Caroline and I will record the podcast because we have a lot of people who want to listen to that on Spotify. And then me and Melissa are going to sync up and actually do the grunt work of putting stuff on paper. Caroline, on her own time, is going to do the grunt work of putting stuff on paper. But we're just going to do that behind closed doors because it's faster that way. But guys, we're gonna end the calendar planning session right here. If you got value, go make a post. If you want to see us do that, let us know on social media. If we get enough people who are actually excited to see that and want to see that, share it with us so we know that that's what you want, and we'll actually take a 15-minute process and stretch it out for over an hour and a half, right? So let us know if that's what you want. Caroline, thank you so much for everything you do.
You too, Munif. I appreciate you. Melissa, thanks for coming up here and showing us how you wrangle Munif in here. Guys, I do want to remind you, like, what I do is I'm going to overview everything for the week, like you saw on my Google sheet. And then I literally every morning I use the high performance planner because it just helps me out having a fresh idea of what has to happen each day. So do what works for you. There is no exact science. I just know this helps me a lot. Great. Yeah, guys, take a picture. Put us on Instagram. Tag us on Instagram. These are our Instagram names. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Let us in here. But let us know if this is bringing value. Check out our podcast. It's called Hey, What's Your Problem? And have a great Sunday. Melissa, thanks for coming up here. Munif, thanks for doing this with me. I'm going to go take these. Yeah.
Take out your dogs.
I'm taking these dogs outside. All right, I'm wrapping it up here. Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming on. Have a great freaking Sunday.